Hi Kulvinder, we're ready for you.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਮੈਂ ਕੁਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ BM ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੋਂ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ IHNA ਕਾਲਜ ਤੋਂ ਜੋ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟੇਟਿਵ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਜੁੜ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੂੰਗਾ ਮਿਸ ਸਮਿਤਾ ਐਂਡ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਮੈਥਿਊਜ਼ ਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਾਈਵ ਫੇਸਬੁੱਕ ਪੇਜ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਆ ਕਰ IHNA ਦੇ ਜੋ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਨੇ, ਜੋ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਪਡੇਟਸ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣ। ਸੋ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੂੰਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਾਈਵ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਕੇ कोई भी क्वेश्चन लाइव पूछ सकते हो ना आप लोग। थैंक यू।
Hi guys, we are Institute of Health and Nursing Australia, and today we'll be talking about our courses and perfect. So let's start with, first of all, who are we? So we are a premier education in Australia. We have two different schools called IHNA and IHM. So today we'll be discussing about Institute of Health and Nursing Australia. So we have 5 campuses. One is in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth. We have 3 campuses in Melbourne and 2 campuses in Perth and Sydney. So let's start our today's topic discussing by our 8 courses and about the Australian qualification framework levels. So AQF is basically, if we talk about our certificate courses and from certificate level courses to our doctorate level. So certificate 1 is at in AQF level 1 and certificate 2 is at AQF level 2 and same goes on. So we have our courses here. We have divided our courses into 4 different schools. So first school being School of Nursing, in which we'll be talking about Diploma of Nursing. So Diploma of Nursing, give me one second. Yeah. So in Diploma of Nursing, we have the course duration of the course is 2 years, and the course fee is priced at 30,000 Australian dollars. So in this, we have 4 different semesters, 4 different semesters with 4 different placements, which will be provided by IHNA. So in our first, what do we say? Just give me one second. Hello. I'm sorry, I can't see anybody.
Can hear you, Samila.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So we were talking about our Diploma of Nursing. So as I told you, the course is priced at $30,000 and the duration is 2 years. So the entry requirement for Diploma of Nursing is PTE 65 overall and above. And if we talk about IELTS is 7 overall and 7 each. So we do have different articulation pathways with different universities in Australia when it comes to our nursing courses, our healthcare management or childcare courses, even our community services. That we'll get into later. So if we talk about Diploma of Nursing, we usually give this course away in a package deal, which is Certificate for in Aging Support and Diploma of Nursing. So a Certificate for in Aging Support is the duration of the course is 1 year, and it is priced at $12,000. And Diploma of Nursing, as I told you, it's priced at $30,000. So initially, the students come to Australia for 1 year. For their first initial 1 year, they study Certificate for in Aging Support, which will eventually help them learning about Diploma of Nursing, as our first semester is based entirely on aged care. So if they have the Certificate for in Aging Support qualification, they can simultaneously work in the industry as well. They can get the industry experience, they'll get to know how the Australian companies work, and it will eventually help them in Diploma of Nursing as well. So first semester, as I explained, it's about aging support. Second semester is about mental health. Third semester is about subacute, and 4th semester is acute care. So acute care and subacute care is basically the main, emergency departments in the hospitals. And when it comes to mental health, there are still, different varieties, different areas of expertise, different things where students can generally find work. And all of these, so after the completion of Diploma of Nursing, let's get to the Diploma of Nursing. Yeah, so we have our different articulation pathways with Charles Darwin University, Murdoch University, and Flinders University. So basically, after completion of Diploma of Nursing, which is of 2 years, we know like our students can, further enhance their skills by entering into a Bachelor of Nursing, because Diploma of Nursing gives you registration as an enrolled nurse. So if you have completed Cert 4, then as I told you, you can start working immediately after. And after Certificate 4 in aging support and after completion of Diploma of Nursing, you can start working as an EN. So after completion of your Diploma of Nursing, students can transform into, they can transition into their Bachelor of Nursing program. So basically what happens is Diploma of Nursing, as I explained, it's of 2 years. So they will get 1 year worth of credit when they are transitioning to their bachelor level, which will eventually give them the registration as a registered nurse. So as displayed on the screen, so Bachelor of Nursing with Charles Darwin University is of 2 years, because 1 year is credited from the Diploma of Nursing. So the whole 1 year, the student will get the credit transfer. And they do not have to, since the Bachelor of Nursing is of 3 years, they do not have to repeat 1 year. They can easily exempt 1 year by getting our credit transfer. Same goes for Murdoch University and Flinders University. So that is about our Diploma of Nursing. And now let's move on to our Healthcare Management and School of Education. So if we talk about School of Education, we have Certificate 3 in ECEC, which is Early Childhood Education and Care. So the duration of the course is 1 year. It stands at an AQF level of 3. The course fee is $12,000. And for our secondary, we do have certain students who are already in Australia and they want to do and pursue this course. We have a different fee structure for them. And the entry requirement for Certificate 3 in ECEC is 5.5 overall and no less than 5 in any of the module. So we do have articulation pathways with Western Sydney University and with Griffith University. So if our students have completed Certificate 3 in ECEC, they can immediately start working in a childcare, as a child support worker, and for further enhancing their skills, they can continue with Western Sydney University. In that, they have Bachelor of Arts. That is of 3.5 years. Still, they will get the credit transfer of their Certificate 3 in ECEC that they've done with us. And simultaneously, they can either go for Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Child, Youth, and Family Practice. So that is the duration of the course is 2.5 years. And the career outcomes, or if we talk about ECEC, as I explained, you can start working in a childcare. And after completion of their bachelor's degree, they can work as an early childhood coordinator or early childhood primary teacher. So basically they can get into teaching line if they wish to. Because Certificate 3 in ECEC does not entirely give you one qualification. As explained, so we have different career outcomes that may further help you to migrate to Australia as well. If you wish to stay there, we do have, if after completion of your bachelor's and Bachelor of Child, Youth, and Family Practice, so you can work as a welfare center manager or a community worker or a youth worker. Now, if we talk about our Diploma of Leadership and Management, so the same course is, the course duration is 1 year. And the location, we have 3 different campuses, Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth. Student can choose whichever campus they want to study in. So the course fee for Diploma of Leadership and Management is $8,000. And again, we do have different pathways for that. So after completion of Diploma of Leadership and Management, students can join our articulated pathways with Western Sydney University. And in there, we have 2 different bachelors that the students can choose from. And Bachelor of Health Science, which is of 2 years, because 1 year, again, they will get the credit transfer from the diploma that they have done with IHNA. And again, the entry requirements for Diploma of Leadership and Management still stands at 5.0 overall, 5.5 overall, and 5, no less than 5 in each module. And here we have let's discuss about the career outcomes. So basically, if you are in any line of work, and if you wish to, take leadership on something for some, so this course is perfectly suitable for that. And if after completion of Diploma of Leadership and Management, they can work as a health service provider, manager, or a project manager, or a health and manager administrator. And if they complete their Bachelor of Business, which is of 2.5 years, so depending upon, whichever major you choose to go in. And so basically they'll be working along with different cultured people, as Australia is multicultural. So they would get to know a lot of things when it comes to taking leadership for something. So now let's talk about our Diploma of Community Services. So Diploma of Community Services, the duration is 2 years. And again, it stands at an AQF level 5 because it's a diploma. So same ways, if a student wants to go for an advanced diploma, then their Australian qualification framework will go from AQF level 5 to AQF level 6. So again, the location is again Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth. Student can choose whichever campus they want to study in. So the course fee is priced at $16,000 for Diploma of Community Services for 2 years. And for our secondary course students, the fee is $8,000. And again, we have our articulation pathways with CDU, with Murdoch University, with Western Sydney University, Griffith University. So basically, after completion of Diploma of Community Services, again, they can start working immediately in the industry. While they are working and while they are gaining experience of the whole work culture, they can transition into their bachelor's. So we have here Bachelor of Social Work, which is with CDU University. It is for 3 years. Again, they will get the credit transfer for the units they have studied with IHNA. So if we talk about their career outcomes, now community service is a vast field. So they can work as a social worker, they can work as a health manager, they can work as a case officer, depending upon whatever job the student lands in. So again, we have Bachelor of Disability and Developmental Education. Again, the duration of it is 2 years, and the career outcomes are because disability service officer, and you can actually work as an NDIS support coordinator. So we have Bachelor of Community Welfare with Western Sydney University, and it is again of 2 years, and it is accredited by ACWA. And the career outcomes for this course after the completion of their bachelor's would be, they can work in any of the disability services. And again, they can work with welfare project manager or welfare healthcare care manager. And if we talk about Bachelor of Social Work, again, after completion of diploma, so all these bachelors that we have listed here, they are done after the student has completed their Bachelor of Community Services. And yeah, so if anybody has any questions in regards to Diploma of Nursing, Leadership and Management, or Community Services, or Childcare Education and Care, they can probably drop in a comment and we'll be more than happy to answer. I'll be moving this conversation along with why you should come to Australia. For that, I'm going to hand it over to Alvin Matthews, and he'll explain it to you that why Australia is why Australia is the next thing that everybody wants to come in, as it is multicultural, it's beautiful. Let me hand it over to Mr. Alvin Matthews. Thank you.
Thank you, Sumedha, for the presentation. As Sumedha mentioned, before, we have different courses available for different sections. As we start from Diploma of Nursing. So let me just add something more into Diploma of Nursing. As you know, when we are coming from different background and different countries into Australia, there is a huge barrier for ourselves is our language barriers. IELTS 7 or PT 65 each or above is the entry requirement for Diploma of Nursing. So as Sumedha said before, we have different options to overcome that hurdle. We can club that into one of our certificate courses. So the best option is Certificate 4 in Aging Support. It is a 1-year course. If you package with Certificate 4 plus Diploma of Nursing, so then you don't have to have that IELTS 7. For example, if you have only IELTS 5 or 5.5 or 6, you can still enroll into both of the courses. What we do is we will give you the COE for both courses, 1 year for the Certificate 4, and then it is leading to, excuse me, it is leading to a 2-year diploma. So what you need to do is you need to have the required IELTS at the time of enrollment, and then when you are going to for the diploma of nursing, so you basically have 1 year to get that IELTS or PT's required PTE before starting the diploma of nursing. So it is we have a huge number of students coming from India and from other countries using this platform to get into their nursing dreams. So what we do is we will give all the support to our students. While you are here in Australia, we can give you the English training, English coaching training like PTE training, IELTS training. It is available in our campuses. So we will give all the support to our students to get the maximum result. So 99% of our students which came for this package options, they have completed the PTE successfully after the 1 year of study. So when you are here in Australia, so you will get a lot of option to study. So you can expand your English level. Plus, we will give you the support to teach them. So when we talk about the Australian standards and Australian conditions, I'm also coming from India, from Kerala actually. So I have migrated to Australia around like 13 years ago as a student. So I came to study a diploma in community service. It was a different name on that time, but it was a similar one. It was back in 2008. So we have studied 2 years of community development courses. That's the same one we are currently called diploma in community service. IHNA have the same course available. The situation was different on that time. So we used to, after finishing the course, we were able to apply for our permanent residency and all. So at this stage, it is not practical because the rules are actually changing every time when you are in Australia. So the government said, if you want to become a permanent resident or, want to go for a career options here in Australia, so you need to study, you may need to study a bit more. You may need to go for your bachelor's. That's why we have a lot of articulation pathways with different universities. Our courses are nationally recognized from all the universities, but we have pathway options. Pathway options in the sense of we can arrange you a dual COE from a university as well. IHNA have the option with Murdoch University, for example, or Flinders University. It is actually in different places. Our campuses are located in Melbourne, Sydney, and in Perth. The Flinders University and Murdoch University. I will take the example for Murdoch University. Murdoch University is actually located in country Western Australia. Western Australia is one of the states in Australia, one of the biggest state. Our campus is also located in Western Australia, a city called Perth. You all may aware about Perth. So if you study the bachelor program, the remaining bachelor program with Murdoch University, that particular campus is located in a country area. The advantage to study in a country area is after finishing the bachelor's, depends on the course, you may be eligible for a 2-year stay back here in Australia. That is for all the courses. But depends on the place, depends on the area you study. There is another option to get additional 1 year of stay back here in Australia. And this Murdoch University is coming under that section. So you, instead of 2 years, you will be able to get 3 years stay back here in Australia. So if you study these many years in Australia, when you apply for your permanent residency or other visas, it is actually adding more points into your credits. So your migration agent will give you more information about that. So this package courses, let me go back to the package courses. If you give more option, if you study with Murdoch, so Murdoch University is actually offering as a scholarship for the students. There is an entry criteria for the scholarship. But basically what they are giving is they are offering around 20% of the total course fee. Some universities are offering only for, for the first year or first semester fee only. Murdoch University is actually giving us the 20% of the total course fee as a scholarship. for the bachelor's. So it is a good opportunity for you to come for a longer duration. So there are many advantages for you to come for a big unit courses. So like diploma is 2 years, bachelor is 3 years. So basically you are applying for a 4 to 5 year visa at the time together when you are applying for a student visa. Once you get the visa, so you have these many years here in Australia plus the 2 or 3 years depends on where you study. So basically it is like around 5 to 7 years of visa you are already getting once you commit for this package options. That is the biggest option we can give. So we have articulations with our Melbourne University as well. For example, if you're looking into Latrobe, it's one of the biggest universities here in Melbourne. The package sections, you can see IHNA details in the Latrobe website. So that means we have many options. As Sumala said before, we have different certificate courses also available. If I'm talking about diploma in leadership management, there is advanced diploma. It is actually available in many places. That's where the students are actually going after the diploma. So we are developing our advanced diploma as well. In recent future, it is already applied and we are waiting for the approval from the government. That is just one course. A lot of other courses are actually on hold for us. Just because of this COVID issues, the borders are closed. It is very hard for the students to come to Australia at the moment. The borders are completely closed. Even we can't even go to other states at this stage because of the lockdown. So we are expecting the border to open and the education department will be back in action for international students for the next July, 2021 July. That is the time we are also expecting. So if any students are preparing for your next year, the best way to get into these options are just, in your mind, you have to aware that you may need your IELTS and everything at the time, this January to February, that time, because there's not many students who came to Australia after maybe the whole year. So there's a lot of applications are on hold at the moment. Because even for onshore students, we have some students already applied for March and April, still didn't get the visa yet, because there is a lot of lagging at this stage. So if you are planning for the next year, so you need to start your, as I said, to avoid the delays, the government is actually offering online study. For example, if you apply for a visa now, when you get your visa, so you have the option to study online as well at the moment, because online study is considering us the face-to-face study for international students. So we've got the information from the department says that if you are arranging a face-to-face online session, like virtual online sessions, it is considering as an Australian study because the borders are closed. Once the border is open, so you will be able to come and continue your studies. That is a current option we are using for all our students across all the campuses at the moment. Some campuses are open, but if I tell about the example for Melbourne, it's completely locked down from the last 4 to 5 months. Yesterday is the only day our premier announced that we are going out from our lockdown. So it was curfew, lockdown and everything. So we were not able to open our campuses at all. As I said, this is the right time for you to apply for the July intakes. So previously we were planning to give COE for our February intake and April intake, but we are thinking the best possible way is for July at this stage. We're actually having some questions in the Facebook. Do you want us to go through at this stage or later?
Yeah, I think if you could just we have one more slide left for why choose IHNA. So if you could just highlight those points, and then I can go.
Yeah. So can you go through that slide, Buddy?
Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's one online. Okay. All right. So why choose IHNA? IHNA. When I'm talking about IHNA, so as we said before, so we have the campuses in most of our places. The major cities in Australia is Melbourne and Sydney. So we have campuses, different campuses available in the heart of Melbourne and in Sydney as well. So when I'm talking about the recognitions and awards and everything, so we are not a big university. We are a small organization. We have got recognized by a lot of departments. Many years, if you check in your IHNA website, IHNA social media platforms, you can see that this year, 2020. So there is we have an award called Victorian Training Awards, the best performer of. So in Victoria, we have around like 700 to 1,000 RTOs available in many places. So we are the finalist this year. So a couple of years back, we were the best college out of all these colleges. So when you come for our courses, we look after our students. So as I said before, I came as a student, so I know how hard it is to survive in Australia as a student. So we look after our students. We can even arrange a pickup from the airport as well. So basically, when you step into Australia, from that point, we can look after our students. We can pick up from you. We can arrange your accommodation if necessary, somewhere next to the campuses, or we can try all these options. Students can try for their own arrangements in the accommodation, but we will try to help for all our students for accommodation. And as I said, student pickups and everything we can. So our caring actually starting from that. So once you are stepping into Australia, you are coming for us. So that means we will look after. So we have a student. All our students have a different platform to contact our educators. So we have a 24/7 student support option. So basically, if you have anything related to your student needs, so we call it a support request. You can open a support request. One of us will contact you as soon as possible to, for all your concerns and everything. So the students are actually using that well. Placements is one of the biggest area what we can deliver to our students. In many places, see, okay, I'll tell you what is placement. The course is like every courses are divided into 3 different sessions. One is theory and another one is called SBA. SBA means simulation based assessment. The next one is placement. So when you complete these 3 sessions, that means you are competent for that particular unit. The theory, it is face to face. The educator is leading the theory, and then there is an assessment. You have to do the assignment. And then there is a lab sessions, simulation lab. In our campuses, all our campuses have the lab facility available. It depends on your course. It may vary. I will tell you the example for diploma of nursing. So the nursing, what you are studying in your theory, you need to learn that in the lab as well. So once you finish these 2 sessions, there are placements. IHNA will arrange the placement for all our students. We know there are many places the student needs to find the placement. It is not easy to find a placement, especially in this COVID scenario. It is not that easy. Many places, for example, for aged care hospitals, they are always coming with many hurdles. They say that, oh, we cannot offer you the placement because of the COVID restrictions and everything. But we will look after our students. We will definitely find the placements for all our students. Once you even finish your course, imagine you complete your course with us, and then we will try to find a job you as well. At the moment, as you may aware about a course called EPAQRN, That is a course for the overseas students to come to Australia and complete their studies to work as a registered nurse here in Australia. So we have a lot of partnership. We have a lot of partners available. So at the moment, we have um, job placement available for our students. Not all the students, some students as a nurse. So many of the fields, many of our students are actually getting the job the same place when they are going for the placement. So we have a good range of students with the job opportunities with the same place which they do the placement. Okay. Can you go to the next slide, Bodhi? Oh, okay. Is that it? Okay. What was the one before? Australia and where choose IHNA? Okay, no problem. I think we have covered most of the places.
Yes, Alvin. So I think we can start addressing the questions. So I will start with Abhishek. So he has completed his bachelor's. He has not mentioned, in which stream. So he is wondering if he is eligible to study early childhood education and care with us.
Yes, you can study early childhood with us. Basically, most of the students are coming from subcontinent or other Asian countries. They may have a bachelor's, or some of them may have masters as well. So, changing your career, you can consider, you can tell that as a reason for you to study. So, every time when you apply for a student visa, there is something called GTE and SLP. So, you need to tell the Australian department to say that why are you choosing this course? Why are you choosing IHNA? What is your background? What have you done in the past? Do you have any gap in your studies? And what kind of job you're doing? Basically, what they need to do is why are you coming to Australia? That is a question what they are asking. So you can always say that you have the passion. So you must need to have a reason to study this particular courses, and then you need to prove that it will lead for your career. Yeah, basically, yes is the answer.
Okay, thank you, Alvin. So we have Rupinder Kaur. I believe what she wants to know is she has her IELTS scorecard with her. So she has an average of 5.5 with minimum 5. So she's wondering if she's eligible to study with us.
Depends on which course you are studying. Most of our diploma courses have can study for with 5.5 to 6. If you have an average 5.5 to 6 with nothing less than 5. If you have any bands less than 5, it is not possible. Except diploma of nursing. Diploma of nursing is you need to have 7 in each. But as I said before, we to package with the certificate for course. So if you package with, for example, certificate for in aging support means you need only 5 or 5.5. So that means you are studying for the 1 year aging support course. That is the option for most of the students are choosing. And in that 1 year, we will give you all the support for you to achieve your IELTS 7. So we will make sure that you will get IELTS so just in case, if you are not getting that 7, we can always give you a second option to move into one of the other courses. For example, diploma in community service. Community service in India, I think it's mainly called as social work and community work. That's the same course. It's a similar course here in Australia as well. So once you complete your bachelor's, you will be a social worker. So that course do not have this IELTS 7 or PT 6.5. They just need only the minimum requirement. So just in case if you are not reaching that 7, we can always give you an additional COE for the other courses.
Thank you. Thank you, Alvin. So we have a very cheeky question. So Manjot Singh wants to know which is the best college in Australia for nursing, and which college would we recommend to Manjot?
Okay. So it's a good question. Manjot, we do offer, as a college, we do offer nursing. When you're talking about bachelor's, we have many options. Depends on which place you want to go, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, Adelaide, or any particular preference you have. There are many package options. So IHNA have the partnership or pathways available with most of the places around Australia. So you can choose your state. If I would say, the best option will be Murdoch or Flinders University, because that will give you additional, stay back option, additional um, another 12 months.
Thank you. I think, Alvin, it will be really helpful for our participants if you could just explain, how they can study Diploma of Nursing with us, and then after that they become registered as enrolled nurses, and how they can move on to do their bachelor's, and while doing their bachelor's they can even work. So how will it be beneficial? So I think that will really help our participants today.
So in India, we have two different type of nursing. One is GNM and one is bachelor nursing. Similar to that, Australia also have two different type of nursing courses. One is Diploma of Nursing. We call it as DAWN. It is a 2-year diploma of nursing. Bachelor of Nursing, it's the same name here in Australia as well. Bachelor of Nursing, that mainly from the universities only. Once you finish your diploma of nursing, your job will be working as an enrolled nurse. So we call it general nurse in India. So it is enrolled nurse here in Australia. If you finish your bachelor of nursing, you will be working as a registered nurse. So registered nurse is the highest level compared to diploma holders and all. So when you complete the 2 year of diploma of nursing, basically you are going into the second year of bachelor's. Okay, so there will be around 135 points or 11 units you are getting credits from your diploma course. Okay, basically you are not studying the whole duration of your bachelor's. As I said, you're going into the second year of bachelor holders. So once you finish, so you have the option to apply for your registration. To apply for the registration, that is where this entry requirement starts from. Like the governing body is called ANMAC. ANMAC requires you need to have the IELTS 7, or you are coming from an English-speaking country. There is only 7 English-speaking countries. If you're coming from any of those countries, you don't need any IELTS or any other English requirement. If not, you must need to have the requirement. So after finishing that, you will be working as a registered nurse. So after diploma of nursing, you will become an enrolled nurse. While you are studying for your bachelor's, that is next question. While you are studying for your nurse, so you will be able to work. If you are working, if you are studying here in Australia, you have the option to work 40 hours a fortnight. Okay, if you already completed your diploma of nursing or any diploma, that means you will be able to work in that section while you are studying your bachelor's. That is the biggest advantage for you Australia's giving. Does that answer the question, Bodhi?
Yes, I think that does answer the question. So we have a lot of questions with regards to migration. I think BM Education, they are better equipped to answer all the visa related questions. However, there is one regarding the Australian visa process. So can you just explain, where do we come into the picture? Like how do we help them?
That again?
So the Australian visa process, so how do we come into the picture? So if you could just talk about the application process,
Yeah.
the COE, so I think that'll be beneficial.
Sure. To apply for the visa, there is something called COE is necessary from the college. So that's where our part is coming from. So to get your COE, you need to have a lot of entry requirements. That entry requirement needs to be a part of our courses. Like you need to submit the application, and then we will issue the offer letter. If you are eligible, we will issue the invoice. You need to pay a certain amount of the fees. Once everything is verified, we will issue a paper called COE, Confirmation of Enrollment. So that is a paper you need to submit to the department to apply for your visa. So once you get your visa, there will be a date for you to come to Australia. So yeah, that's what our part is. We have our own department to apply for the visa. All the students may have different options, depends on the agencies also have their options. So yeah, we can also help the students, or if there is no other arrangements made.
Yes, thank you. I think that's about all. And we have a lot of people asking, when will the Australian borders open? So I'm not quite sure if we are the right people to answer that. But
of course, we are not the right people, but as I said before, we are hoping anytime in the first quarter of next year. It is not going to happen at this stage because it is a tough restrictions currently going on here in Australia. Even in between the states is not allowed to travel from Victoria to other states and all. The Victoria had the toughest restrictions in the world for the last 4 months. We had curfew. We were not able to go out from the house just for the food. That was the only time we were able to go out for the last 3 or 4 months. From tomorrow, the shops are actually opening. So the last few months, we haven't had any shops available here in Melbourne, in Victoria. So from tomorrow, it is slowly easing. But as you all know, if we are opening the border, so it's a different case. That's what happened in many different countries, and they are going back to lockdown. So Australia don't want to do that at this stage. But no country can close the border for a long time. Residents are actually returning at this stage. That is the first step they are doing. Chartered flights are available for the residents to go and come back. We are also hoping for early next year or mid next year. But for the intake wise, we are expecting for the international students to accommodate on July intake. So July is ideal time, I would say. It could go up or down.
yes, thank you. Thank you, Alvin. I think we have answered almost all the questions. So if anyone has any concluding remarks, Melvin, Sumedha, if you'd like to add anything.
I think, Alvin has already covered everything, so it should be all right. Pretty clear, I would say. And if any questions, feel free to contact us. We'll be able to help you out, with any questions.
Yes, thank
you,
you.
guys.
Sure.
Okay,
There
thank
is a
you.
question called MSc Nursing. How many scores required? Can say that one question.
Okay.
So masters depends on. So if you studied these many years in Australia, many places you may not need. Okay, that is for the package I'm talking about. So if you have studied 5 years in Australia, you may not need to have another IELTS to study masters. But depends on for masters, we do not have the masters at the moment, but we have already submitted our masters to the department and we are waiting for the result. So hopefully we will have the masters in early next year or mid next year. It could be similar to the other IELTS 7. So that could be similar, but it is not confirmed at this stage.
Yes, thank you. So Rajdeep and Kulwinder, we hand it over to you. Okay, I think they are not available, so I can conclude on their behalf. So thank you to all the participants. Thank you, Alvin, Melvin, Sumedha, and Mr. Lal. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. And thank you to all the participants for taking... Oh, Rajdeep is here. Yes, Rajdeep.
Hi.
Hi, Radip.
Yeah, hi. Actually, I was available. I was on another call. That's why I just muted my audio.
Sure, yes. Any concluding remarks from your end so that we can close this session?
Yeah, 1 second. I'll just call on Kulwinder. Hold on.